And looked like Jolene is up first with solid waste.
Okay, have a copy of the station report that was sent to everyone. Projects that we're working on. We held our household hazardous waste collection day. We had 434 cars. Unfortunately, we couldn't break it down by individual towns because we were trying to practice as much social distancing as we could. The total cost for the event was $38,235. We will be submitting once the grant is open for submission for the 50% reimbursement. But keep in mind, the state still owes us for 2 previous collections. It totals roughly $54,000. So our all-in will be roughly $73,000 that they will owe us going into next year. Recycling permits, they're going to be going out to everyone December 14th. We've notified all the clerks and the station attendants. The structure is going to stay the same as it did last year. Retirement, Betty Bednar, our bookkeeper, 36-year employee of Columbia County, will be retiring on December 31st. We have been working with Jessica, administrative assistant in the highway division, to take over the solid waste payroll, and we all feel it'll be a very smooth transition. Consolidation of staff, we had 5 full-time drivers sign up for snow and ice with the highway department. We've rearranged our staff to cover our snow and ice plan, and it will also include our part-time laborers with CDLs to drive when needed, and we'll also be utilizing our full-time laborers and skilled labor for snow removal if needed at our stations. Holiday schedule, all stations will be closed on Thursday. Kinderhook and Greenport will be open on Friday, and all stations in December will be closed on Friday, December 25th and Friday, January 1st, but they will resume all their normal hours after that. And that's all I have. Oh, safety training. Forgot about that. Yeah, we completed our annual safety training at the new fire training center, and let me say that's a beautiful building. So we've completed that for the year. And are there any questions?
Thank you. Any comments or questions for Jolene?
Hey, Ron, I just wanted to thank Jolene for hosting that Hazardous Waste Day. I thought it was a real benefit to the county. Thank you, Jolene.
Thank you. We always have fun. That's the best day out of the year. So we enjoy doing it.
Yes, Donnell did reach out to me and asked, that we could try and do that again next year. We didn't put it back in the budget because we're trying to cut a number of things. I will continue to look at that. Jolene did talk to the vendor that would extend the contract. If we could get some reimbursement from the state, we could look at our revenues for solid waste as a general by the end of the year and see where we are, because I think we've been extremely busy and maybe we do have some extra revenue. And we'll try and do that again next year. I do realize that the residents do enjoy that program, but right now we're trying to just cut money and get the budget approved. So.
Good job, Jolene.
Thank you.
All right, is that it for Jolene? We have engineering up next. Is that where we're going? Yep. I don't have a folder in front of me, so I don't know. But
yep, I'm up next, Ron. It looks like.
Okay, here you are.
At least that's what it says.
That's what it says. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming in tonight. Appreciate it. Item number 1, our federal aid bridge, highway, and project update. County Route 25 over the Fitting Creek up at Stockport. Still working on closeout for that project. Hope to complete that sometime in the first quarter of 2021. County Route 18, our active fish and game road highway reconstruction project out in Clover. Final contract plans for this project are now 98% complete and will be sent to DOT and FHWA in the next few weeks for their final review and comments. Final right-of-way acquisition closings are currently being completed with the 17 property owners we have signed purchase agreements from, and RK Height, our right-of-way subconsultant, is successfully progressing the 3 eminent domain right-of-way acquisitions that were authorized by the County Board of Supervisors back in October. We anticipate submitting all the final plans, specifications, utility work agreements, and right-of-way completion certificates to DOT and FHWA. Probably by the end of this year, it might be the first quarter of 2021 now, for final review and approval to advertise for construction bids. County Route 7A, our Copac Hamlet reconstruction project. We are currently working up the consultant selection package for submittal to New York State DOT, which will go down there along with the fully executed design and right-of-way incidentals agreement that the county signed a few weeks ago for their review and authorization. Topographic field survey and some environmental screening work. We managed to get that going out in the hamlet of Copac in the last couple of weeks. We probably have another week or two of field work, and we'll have completed the topographic field survey for the project, which is what our goal was for this fall. Scheduling of Get Start meetings with the Hamlet Advisory Committee and New York State DOT's local projects unit are in progress also now. We actually have set up the Hamlet Advisory Committee meeting for December 1st, so we're looking forward to that. Item number 2, our Bridge New York program. County Route 21 over a tributary to the Agawam Creek in Hillsdale, North Hillsdale. All construction work on the new bridge carrying County Route 21 over the tributary of the Agawam Creek in the northwest corner of the town of Hillsdale has been completed, and we will begin closeout work on the project once the site restoration work is accepted in the spring of 2021. Project came out very well, I think, basically on budget and a couple of weeks early. So I think all in all, it was a good project. Valley View Road over the Bass Fish Brook and Copac, our other Bridge New York awarded project. Design, environmental tasks, coordination with New York State OPRHP, the Taconic State Park, and the Taconic Regional Office staff, and overhead utility relocation coordination tasks continue to be progressed this fall. All design and other required project planning tasks will continue through the spring and summer of 2021, and we expect to let a construction contract in the fall of 2021. Construction of the bridge project should begin in the spring of 2022. And although it's considered a Bridge New York project, this bridge work is actually funded by 95% federal and 5% county fiscal shares. Our locally funded bridge program, some highlights here. Hollowville Bridge on County Route 16 in Cloverwick, and the Mellonville Paper Mill Bridge on Roxbury Road in Cloverwick. All construction work on both bridges have been successfully completed by ING Civil, our bridge contractor on this 2-bridge package project. Project closeout is underway now. West Taconic Bridge and the Woodward Bridge over on County Route 7 in Gallatin, another packaged bridge design project. Detailed design, utility coordination, and environmental permitting tasks for the reconstruction of these 2 structurally deficient county bridges continues by our design engineers Clark Patterson Lee of Albany, New York. Also, construction coordination meetings for these 2 future bridge replacement projects with their respective local stakeholders, adjacent landowners, the fire and EMS providers, etc. continues. Our 2021 multi-bridge element-specific repair improvement contract. A final group of priority bridge sites and necessary work tasks for a reduced and limited 2021 multi-bridge repair project has been completed, and we will be executing the design contract for this project, which was approved by the board back in October, over the next 2-3 weeks. Request for proposals for future bridge project designs. We are reviewing inspection reports, field observations, and other structural information in order to prepare requests for proposals for design services for several future locally funded county bridge and large culvert replacement and our major rehab projects. These RFPs will likely go out on the street in the first half of 2021, with the work on those projects to take place in 2021, 2022. And we have 2 resolution requests. The first one is for a supplemental agreement in the amount of a little bit under $1,600, which is related to construction inspection activities on our 2 bridges that we built this summer out in Cloverwick that I just mentioned, County Route 16 over the Hollowville Creek and Roxbury Road over the Agawam Creek. We had a little bit of extra concrete testing we needed to do. When we scoped these originally, we estimate we need X number of concrete tests. We actually had 3 extra concrete tests to do. So the $1,580 was a supplemental agreement that we needed to do to cover those costs. The project came in under budget, so we should be in good shape as far as this additional $1,600 anyway. So,
Move that.
Got a
I'll
motion? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second it? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Motion
Okay.
approved.
The second resolution request is also a supplemental agreement to the Valley View Road over the Bass Fish Brook Bridge, New York reconstruction project. Let me read the summary of what this covers. It's probably best explained here. It's a $22,000 supplemental agreement for additional design phase services, which would be covered under the Bridge New York grant. The supplemental hearing covers the need to perform a hydraulic analysis of the bridge. The original scope assumed the new east abutment would be located behind the existing abutment. With that in mind and the pier and the west abutment to remain, it was assumed that no hydraulic study was required, so we didn't scope it as part of the original design contract. However, during preliminary design, it was determined that the total construction cost could be reduced significantly by building the proposed east abutment in front of the existing east abutment. This would save significant construction costs by reducing the entire span length and reducing earthwork quantities. The total bridge length with the proposed east abutment constructed in front of the existing appears sufficiently large enough to meet New York State DOT hydraulic requirements and also New York State DEC and Army Corps of Engineer requirements. However, we do need to perform a formal hydraulic study to get the environmental permits we need and to get it through DOT. So we anticipate that the approximate cost savings by building the proposed east abutment in front of the existing one is about $120,000. And there will be also additional savings of maintenance over the years because we'll have a slightly smaller bridge deck. And of course, the construction costs with the deck and shorter girders and all those things will contribute to probably $175,000 in savings. So we're spending 22 to save 175. And the DEC and the Army Corps now get involved with the sizing of our bridges. The bridge is pretty well oversized now, so we anticipate a little shorter span is not going to be, still going to be able to carry the water that they're going to require us to carry. So we're pretty confident that the hydraulic analysis will be accepted.
So Dean, you're gonna be able to then have money left over. You can come over and do Livingston's Bridge.
Sure, Jim. Let's see, in 2034, I think. I wish it worked that way.
Ray's not on.
I know he's not, right? I wish it worked that way. I really do.
Yeah.
But so that's the reason for this supplemental agreement. We did not include the hydraulic analysis using the superstructure replacement, but we did know that we were going to be replacing the one abutment. So this seemed to be a good fix and will be a cost savings in the end. So that's what we're asking for.
Listen, Jim, I've given up on that argument. I think we should both give up on that argument at this point.
Ray?
Oh, you're there, huh, Ray? Okay.
He was hiding.
I am still here.
Okay. I was working it, Ray. I thought I was alone though.
I'll move it.
All right, we need a motion to approve that resolution if you so
I'll move
desire.
it. I'll move it. Netler?
We got a motion, we have a second.
Second, Benvenuto.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you, Dean.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I'll let you read item number 6 at your leisure. It's been very busy as usual.
Thanks, Dean. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too now, folks. Thanks.
Okay, we got facilities up next.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Let's see here. Well, it was kind of a weird month, I would say. Doesn't look like a lot of work got done, but we spent a good 6 days. You know, we spent a bulk of the time picking up and delivering vote machines.
And being quarantined.
Yeah, and 6 guys or 6 employees being quarantined through that time too didn't help out.
How did the rental trucks work out on the?
Well, it worked out, but we're still. I was going to talk to Ron Cabanera about this. we requested a 26 footer, and when we got there, there was no 26 footer. So we ended up with a 16, so we had to send another vehicle around. So we tied up an extra body doing that, because they had to run back and forth with more supplies because we just didn't have the room for it. So it basically soaked up 3 guys for 6 days. But, you know, going forward, I think if we, you know, we tried a bunch of other companies and it was tough securing the truck, but if we just, I would say if we just do it at least a month ahead of time and just, you know, they got to guarantee us that truck. But, you know, other than that, it ran like it always did. It ran, you know, all the machines got delivered, so
Okay.
and picked up. So, now basically, you know, just taking care of the airport. We had the drain was plugged up twice, so we had to snake it out, and we're going to get it jetted next year. The Veterans Center, we've been helping Gary out there, and you know, we had assembled a ton of his furniture, and if anyone gets the chance, they should check that out. It's very nice what he did up there for his remote conferencing. It's really nice there. And then we're still waiting out at the jail. We have a couple of units, like the hot water tank had a leak, but the rep from the company, he's coming back next week to fix it, so we'll be all set there. The job at the jail looks very, very good. Right now we're just working on, we're gonna actually, with the way everything is so tight there, we have to install a heater now because the boiler room's too cold. I would have never thought that would happen, but so that's what we're working on getting for next week. But let's see here. Basically, everything is all up to date. All the filters, generator, tests. So that's pretty much it on for November.
Do we consider getting rid of the old truck, Brian? We're going to start that? You remember we were talking about getting rid of it? The old
Yeah,
truck
we
truck?
have it. The mechanics tagged it, so they're gonna eventually, we're gonna get it up on the hill. We just got to get all the markings off it, you know, the stickers and the license off it.
Okay.
So that'll probably be,
Just no super hurry. It's right now, some of these trucks are going for pretty good money, that's all.
are they okay? So
So are you prepared to push this, you got a resolution here to deem that surplus?
well, this was a different vehicle. This
Oh,
is one of our
okay.
smaller pickups. Yeah.
Okay,
So, yeah, we're just asking request authorization to put truck 4F in the surplus and to sell at auction. It's been red tagged. It's got a lot of issues with it, and plus it wasn't four-wheel drive. It was absolutely useless in the wintertime. Guys couldn't even take it in the roads in Hudson. It was that bad. So we would, you know, if there was any little bit out there, that truck had to stay at the shop. So that's why we're getting rid of it.
What year is that one, Brian?
2005.
Okay.
So it's got 94,000 on it.
What's it all rusty? Is that the trouble with it, or?
We had brake issues, the heater, the steering. There was a list that was, you know, and like I spoke with Dennis, we've had that red tag for like a month or two, you know, a couple months trying to decide what to do with it. And he was like, get rid of this thing. Because like I said, winter coming up, it's useless to us.
Right.
So we would try to load the snow blowers on it, and even with that little bit of weight, you know, with some weight in the back, you still could. The Hudson's so greasy, it was just pointless.
Yeah.
You know, so we just said, she's had its time. So
I'll move that.
Jimmy, how about we add the box truck on there? We could explain this to the rest of the committee, but I think we should add the box truck onto this and deem that surplus as well too. I think that's where we're going with that.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. The box trucks pretty much had it also.
all right, you want me to send you information on that, or
Well, we pretty much went over it, you and I. I mean,
Yep.
the rest of the committee may want it, but I think we should add it. It's a good point, Ron. Add it to this thing.
Yeah, just for the committee's update, you know, years ago, when we first went to the electronic voting machines, we bought a used box truck to deliver them all to the different municipalities that use them. And that truck really only gets used kind of once a year for that purpose of delivering the voting machines. And the truck is pretty well shot now, and the garage deemed it needing too much work. So this year we went out and leased one, is what Brian is talking about. And I think going ahead that we should just sell this truck, the used box truck that we've got, and then we'll just figure every year on leasing them would be a better way to handle that job. So I'd like to add that to this resolution and just get it marked. We probably won't meet in December, so you might as well get it out there.
So I'll make that resolution adding the box truck to this, or do you want to just rewrite this? In it?
Why don't you do that?
Okay.
Have the motion, do we have a second?
All right, so you,
I'll
wait a
second.
second, I gotta be clear, because I gotta let Kelly know this. So we're rewriting the resolution to include the box truck?
So Brian can give you the VIN number for the box truck. You can tell him probably now what year it is, Brian. That's it.
I think that was 02, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it was. Right, too. Yeah.
But you should supply the VIN number, but add the box truck.
It's actually an 01.
Okay.
No one? Okay,
And before it goes to finance or full board, we'll have that VIN number attached to this resolution.
yeah, because it's going, you have a finance committee meeting tomorrow at 3:30.
Right.
Sherry, do you need me to get? I can get you that VIN number if you need it.
Well, Kelly, yeah, we're going to need all the information on the vehicle that we usually put in the resolution. So if you can email
Okay.
that to Kelly, that would be great.
Perfect. Yeah, I can do that now.
Thank you.
All right, we got a motion. Do we have a second on that?
Yep, second.
Jack, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else for Brian while he's there? If not, we'll go to highway.
My turn?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. All right, we're transitioning from our summer fall work to winter work. Snow fence is going up, hauling and stockpiling sand and salt up to our new Lebanon outpost. And we will be topping off the rest of our outpost as well. We did already have some snow and ice operations up in the northern part of the county. And still cleaning ditches and culverts. We did get a lot of that type of stuff done this year, a lot of ditching, a lot of maintenance work that we don't usually get to, where we haven't gotten to in the last several years. So clear and brush, usual roadside sign maintenance and equipment maintenance. We completed the mowing of the county roadways, landfills, and airport. And we've completed the hot mix patching of roadways for this year. That's the drag boxing. We have at least one pipe that we still have to blacktop over in Taconic on County Route 15. That will be done next week. Colaruso's plant closes tomorrow, but Peckham's closes the 4th, so we'll probably be getting the blacktop from them. Personnel update. We've hired 3 seasonal laborers. One employee still out on an extended sick leave with a new date of January 15th, I believe, is his next appointment. One employee out on unpaid leave of absence, and somehow I forgot to put on here that my general foreman, Jim Everett, retires. Tomorrow is his last day. I think I was just in denial that it was happening, so I forgot to put it on a sheet, but he retires tomorrow, so.
Well, tell him
After
since
30
he
some
didn't put
years.
on the agenda, he can't go. Tell him I said.
You know what? If that works, I'll tell him it came right from you. So I've been doing everything I can to keep him, but
I know.
new business, I have none, and resolution requests, I have none. Normally, this would be where we would do the request for the County Highway Superintendents Association Winter Conference. However, this year that is going to be virtual and free of charge. So No resolution needed, I guess. That's all I got. That's kind of an easy one.
Tony, well, we got you on there, and Ron.
Yep.
You know, I've been talking with Ron a little bit, and I was out there to look at the county road over by the bridge, by the Stockport Bridge there.
Yep.
Where they ripped it up. Where are we going with that? Ron or Aunt Tony? I mean, is that being taken care of? Because I've been hearing that the firemen have been up in arms over.
Yeah, no, I guess we need, between Dean and Tony, we do need to bring in an engineer. Dean had spoke to somebody, I forgot the engineering firm a little bit, but I think we need to have them develop a work plan for how we're going to get that put back together so that we can get it opened up. I think Tony ought to think about trying to do a one-lane thing or something for the winter if we can't get it together quick enough, but if you can have to plow through there. I know I talked to the sheriff the other day about people parking on that road. There's residents that are just parking on that closed section of road, and then you can't get through there. So that's pretty much a problem too. But we should get an engineering firm in there and figure out how we're going to backfill that properly. I have reached out to the hydroelectric plant that has the penstocks nearby, and they're going to provide us some engineering details for what they did, so that we know what we can work around and can't. And so, yeah, we need to start talking about it, but I'm waiting on engineering information from the hydroelectric plant right now.
Okay. So, what's the next step with that? Where are we then?
So depending on what they give us, I think then we got to contact this engineering firm that Dean spoke to and let them develop a work plan to see how much of it the county can do, or do we need to have it done by somebody else. But then we can get a real cost estimate on that. It's hard to throw numbers at it right now. But
It just looked awful dangerous. That's why I was bringing it up.
no, my residents are all pushing for it, so we got to keep nudging it ahead. But
Okay.
anything else for Tony?
Nah, I'm good.
The next item up is a request for somebody to use the gazebo at the front of the courthouse for a wedding. These usually come through this committee, as you remember. Apparently, Kelly has spoke to these people. They would like to use the gazebo for a wedding. They put this off a couple times due to COVID. They're now looking to plan it for May sometime. I don't have a problem with these arrangements, but I think that we should put some kind of stipulation in this resolution, if we so choose to approve it, that they need to comply with the health department regulations of the time. You know, the way things are going, you don't know what the rules are today. We don't know what they are tomorrow. So where are we going to be in May? Maybe we're in much better shape, but we don't know that. So if the committee is okay with approving this, and I think we should just add some kind of wording like that if somebody wants to add some language like that.
So you want language in accordance with health department guidelines? Is that something like that?
I think so. Yeah. Does anybody else have any feelings on that?
Oh, I agree.
I agree also. Yeah.
Right now, they're talking about having 30 people. I'm not even sure that's allowed under today's rules and times, but we're not sure. But whatever we approve, I just say they go to the health department and get it approved too. Make sure that they're following guidelines.
So you want them to speak with the health department is what you're saying?
Well, I think if you just put in this resolution that we want them to comply with current health department requirements,
Okay,
would be sufficient, wouldn't it?
okay.
And
Maybe
given
they
those
don't do
requirements,
anything
maybe we could,
I'm sorry, Donnell, was that?
no, I was just saying, given those requirements, we could terminate this at the very last minute, should they change, leading up to that.
Well, I think that's my point. If the health department
Yeah.
wouldn't allow this at that time, then they can't do it if we put that stipulation in there.
All right, so you want subject to change based
Well,
on,
Subject to being able to follow health department guidelines of the time.
What if we say, subject to approval by the Department of Health 4 days before or something like that? Then it doesn't have to come back to us.
Right, I
The
didn't want it
Department
to
of
come
Health.
back to us, right, it just, you know,
Most of the stuff has to go before the health department anyway when they have those little gatherings, don't they?
No, this is definitely something that, I mean, they don't regulate this, but you approve this because you own the building and the property. But the health department guidelines definitely are going to be contingent upon what's happening that day. I mean, things could change the day before the wedding or the day of the wedding, the way things are going. So, I think I would put a contingency, and I can actually have Rob word it, at the county attorney's office. That makes sense, if that helps.
I think it makes sense because there's 30 people there. We don't know what, where we're going to be, what zone or what color we can be in or whatever.
Right.
So I think we should definitely
Okay.
include Rob in there. And I think you're right, Jeannie. If we can approve in such a way where it doesn't have to come back again, would be probably easier. But
Then we don't have to be the heavies.
yeah,
Okay.
We don't have to tell the bride that she can't get married.
The only reason I say that is they had like 30-some people over for a candlelight vigil over here after George and son died. And when they have a gathering like that, because it's going to be at the gazebo. Yeah, it's on your property, but you can't get 30 people in the gazebo. So they had to go and give the county health department their plan, what they were going to do and how they were going to do it and how they were going to maintain social distancing. There was a whole,
Okay, so they did get health department approval.
they did, they had to go and get the guidelines from the health department. And it's
Okay,
not something,
because Kelly and I had talked about that and she didn't say that,
Yeah.
so, okay. I'll
yeah,
talk to
that's
her
what they
tomorrow.
had to do.
Okay.
And that's what I've known from like across the street over here, that when the Falls had an event outside, he had to get health department.
and it could be by next May that the health department says we don't have any, requirements to restrict anybody, I don't know, but we don't know by now, so. Right now, have to anticipate it.
All right, we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, just, it's always good it's just another suggestion, just to make it easier.
Sounds
Right.
good.
Something like that.
All right,
Yeah.
so you'll approve this based on health department compliance.
Yes.
Okay.
Did we actually get a motion on that?
So moved. I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, call me, Sherry, if you got any questions tomorrow, we can talk with Rob.
All right, sounds good.
thanks.
And you should update the form because it says Rick Evening is chairman, deputy chairman.
Oh, I'll tell Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and Angela as the deputy
Angela
clerk.
is Deputy clerk, yeah. I don't know where they got the form, but flew around.
It could still be on the website. We'll have to change
right.
that. All right, anything else?
Anything else to bring before Public Works?
Dean, were you gonna bring up that emergency engineer
Oh, yeah.
resolution?
Oh, yeah, yes. Yeah. We did have,
Good thinking, Mike, I forgot about that.
we did have a, resolution that was brought up at the airport subcommittee an hour ago or so in regards to extending our on-call, engineering services, contract for, minor miscellaneous airport, engineering, tasks, by another year. In 2019, we put the original contract in place. It had an $18,000 maximum payable amount in it. The first year in 2019, we used about $4,000 of it for miscellaneous stuff that comes up. It's not federally funded or state funded, local money. But when we need engineering advice on the airport, on planning or design or something like that we're working on locally, we use that to reimburse Pasro and Associates for their time. In 2020, we extended it another year until the end of this year. We used another $4,000 or $5,000 of that. So we still have $8,000 or $9,000 of the $18,000 left. So we thought we'd just extend that contract for another year instead of working up a brand new one. And the airport subcommittee had okayed that. So
Do we figure that in next year's budget at all, or where are we with that?
I have it in my capital budget, Jim.
Okay.
Every year I put X amount of dollars in it every year, based on what we used the last couple of years. Yeah.
Okay, and we're okay with that for next year, right? I mean, that's not been changed, right?
No, yeah, we haven't changed that at this, and I think to Dean's point, he hasn't used it in the last 2 years either, so
Okay, okay, just making sure.
fully.
I'll move that, Benvenuto.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Who was the second? Was that Donal?
Donnell, I
Yeah.
think.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, folks.
Motion second, all in
All
favor?
right,
Aye.
Well, if nothing else, I'll say happy Thanksgiving to everybody and ask for a motion to adjourn.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Ron.
Happy
I'll move it.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy
Yep, happy
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Everybody, thanks for
Thanksgiving.
coming.
Have fun.
motion to adjourn.
Happy, I'll be over.
Be safe.
Second.
Okay, take care, everybody.
Take
Have a
care.
good holiday, everybody.